Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Meditations with Josh and friends. I had a great conversation last night with a new group of people. My Thursday night group still meets. We've been meeting through the pandemic and everything, but it is more of an interfaith group where people can come together and have a safe place to investigate faith. So in that space, there's no one religion that holds prominence over another religion, but we just talk more philosophically about God and faith. And a lot of people that attend that are either former Catholics, former Christians, people who've been jaded by the church, and then they've moved on to something else. So anyway, in the discussion, we found that as everybody was going around and sharing their history, that most of them were Christians, and most of them were no longer going to church or actively practicing their faith. And the topic of, defending the faith came up, and how the way that certain people defend the faith was actually very harmful for a lot of these new friends. And so I want to read a passage from 1 Peter 3. It starts in the 15th verse, and you'll probably recognize it. It says, "Instead, regard Christ as holy in your hearts. Whenever anyone asks you to speak of your hope, be ready to defend it." And that's great. And we read that in this translation, and we think, okay, so we need to be able to defend the faith, right? Give people reasons for our faith so that we can defend it. But what's interesting and what makes all the difference sometimes, especially in the midst of whatever's going on in the culture at the time, is that this translation could be interpreted as inflammatory because of the one word, defend it. Defend it. Now, if you read other translations, it doesn't say defend it. It says give a reason with meekness and gentleness, or humility and patience, and those explanations give off a different sort of meaning. So I say all that because one, right now is sort of a critical time for us as Christians, followers of Christ, to be there, to be the witness in the world. And depending on how you're understanding sharing our faith can give maybe can have a different outcome on those who are hearing it. If we're defensive and we're trying to tell people, we're right, and the Bible's right, and like this and that, which is implying that they're wrong if they hold a different view, that might not be gentleness and humility. But if we understand that we're sharing in gentleness and humility, then it kind of de-escalates anything before it starts. So that's kind of the background. Now, the assignment for today, my hope, my prompt to you, is that you would consider how you're sharing your faith. I just had to do this assignment recently to do up 2 or 3 sentences of how we might communicate the reason for our faith, like it says in 1 Peter, to those who might ask. So, and it's specifically designed to only be a couple sentences because be concise. Don't be verbose and talk too much like I'm doing right now. So anyway, consider that. I hope you find the exercise fruitful, and I'd love to hear what you think. See you tomorrow, folks. I love you. Bye.